Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Las Vegas, Nevada, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
It's so quiet over there.
So quiet. Hopefully we don't get any banging on the walls from the neighbors who are like, what? Why? It's 6 a.m. Why are you talking about how Kobe Bryant's overrated?
What hotel are you at?
Harris.
Harris again. So that's,
Yeah.
Is that part of the deal with Kimmel's Club?
Yeah.
6 a.m. is always an interesting, like the long night. Like the 6 a.m. Vegas is fascinating.
Yeah. It was like an hour ago that I heard people like, I mean, it's Friday morning here now. I heard people like stomping down the hall, like a gang of people. I was like, I really need 40 more minutes of sleep.
When I worked at Caesars, a lot of times I had a shift that started at 7. And I remember, going through sometimes the casino in the mornings. And you're just like, what kind of savages are doing this at this time? Or like from the night before. And it's kind of fascinating just in the social nature of how that city is.
Yeah, it's wild.
Did you sleep at all?
I slept from about 1:30 till 5:30.
So
Had plans on going to bed a lot earlier, but came to the room last night stupidly. You know how it is once you start like you putz around on the computer for a second. I'll do 5 minutes of work before bed. The next thing I know, it's been an hour. But now the second episode of Beat It Out, the new all comedy podcast with Adam and Jay Moore, is loaded and ready to launch this morning. I don't have to deal with that before I get on my flight home. So that's
good.
That was a little pre-bed work.
So then you can go home and nap.
That's right.
Where you find Southwest?
Southwest, baby. Oh, let me do a little dirtball shout out, by the way. Let me shout out Mason. Dirtball, Southwest Dirtball. Got off the Southwest flight in Vegas yesterday, standing right by the door on the way out, little Southwest employee. And the guy goes, Dirty Sports. And I was like, yeah, he's like, Mason. And I thought I recognized him because I was like, I think I maybe already followed this guy on Instagram. And I did after I checked. But he's like, good to see you, man. Keep up the good work. And I'm with Corolla. And he was like, what was that? I was like, I have a podcast too, man.
That's hilarious.
I was like, we're going to mark that one down. The time I got recognized and you didn't. I was like, man, show was 20 years ago, buddy. Back of the line.
Go get my luggage, bitch.
Yeah.
Give me a drink.
Yeah.
A banana cognac.
I was like, that's a dirtball. He's like, poor kid. Why'd you call him that? I was like, forget it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's real funny. Yeah, shout out to Mason. They changed, Southwest they're not gonna do the cattle call anymore.
I kind of love it. Because you know what? I've become pretty like, I fly Southwest pretty regularly at this point, especially with the Vegas trips. Bags fly free. Elite shit. Cattle call for absolute fucking assholes. What are we doing here?
You know, my thing is they're gonna change that. Then they're gonna start charging. Basically, I think there's some private equity firm that has a huge stake in Southwest now, and right, all they want to do is make money. So
Right.
who knows what that future holds then? But that's funny that you ran into dirtball right when you got off the flight.
Yeah.
The most dirtball thing ever. We actually we have a form. I can't believe I haven't talked about this because it's been going on for a few days. I could have done it last episode. A former Dirty Sports guest keeps making the news.
Who's that?
Drew Chrisman.
Oh, I saw that.
Everybody's talking about it. McAfee's talking about it. I got a funny clip from Cam Newton. He does these videos like a day in the life. So he basically does, and I think they're actually kind of cool. Like he lives behind the curtain, especially in the NFL world. And then he was doing when he got signed with I think an XFL team, just like what the check is, and he shows like after all these different, not just taxes, but fees or whatever. And then he'll do a day in the life of being called for a tryout. So like he's not in the league right now. The Niners called him for a tryout and he films the whole thing. And then he didn't make the Niners. Then the Commanders called him for a tryout last week.
And then I saw the Commanders, told him to take everything down, right?
And he basically said, fuck you.
Yeah, because it's like, what could the reasoning possibly be?
I don't know, but it's garnered all this attention. I'll just play the video. Like these are the type of videos he does. And not just with football. For a while on he's kind of blown up his Instagram. He would do a day in the life of different workers. So he actually reached out to me. He filmed one at Gold Star last year, like a day in the life of a Gold Star worker, where realistically he shows up for 2 hours and he has a body cam and he's pretty talented. He does it all on his own. And basically this is how you make the chili, the spaghetti, the burgers, and he's taking an order and it's obviously he's not working all day, but then he does it for different jobs and he does it for the NFL. And then this is the one he posted that the Commanders told him to take down.
His life is good and it keeps getting better. When I know made the weather.
I love that he made his head.
Yeah. So I mean, you can see he's just like, the team puts him in the hotel, the tryouts, the car picks him up. Oh, this is his new business he's trying to promote, which is funny. So I think they're mad that they didn't know he was probably filming all this. Right? He's at their...
They had to, though.
You think?
I mean, he's putting his camera down everywhere. So it's
True.
probably they didn't like him after the fact or whatever.
So he's eating the team meal. He's showing it. Going to the locker or shower. But he does post the guy saying that he's not on the team or he didn't make it. So, I mean, it's a quick hitting video. He's on the plane back, right? He's obviously in this area. And that's it.
It's a fun one. Hey, guys, Daddy's home. Let me just put this camera down in the living room, and then you'll come back to the door and greet me.
So,
I just want a hug now, Dad. Get inside and set up this shot.
That's hilarious. So he posts
like,
that.
Easy, Coppola. Just fucking say hello to your daughter.
And these get really good traction, especially on Instagram. And then he posts, I assume this is from his agent. He posts a screenshot Drew just got a call from Commander's legal department. Please take down all social media posts that show anything Commanders. Thank you. And to his credit, he basically said, fuck you. And he just keeps going back at the Commanders. Now, probably not good for his future prospects of playing in the NFL.
Yeah, although, you know, these teams, they don't really, right? If they need a guy, if somebody's punter goes down and they need a guy, they don't really care, do they?
Yeah, true.
Like,
True.
oh, do you see what that wide receiver did? No, what'd he do? Threw his pregnant girlfriend down a flight of stairs. Probably bad for his future in the NFL. Then some slot receiver gets hurt, and they're like, go sign him.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're right. I guess they had to have known he was filming, but the Cam.
But I also like the like take it down. It's like, you already didn't sign me.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
But I don't understand why they would want it down, because they're showing like. But like you and I have already talked about this. The amount of access that fans get to an NFL team.
Yeah, I don't even know what they could have been like. Oh, what is this show? The only thing I'm thinking is that, like, you know, the fourth assistant special teams coach says no thank you to you in the middle of a lobby. Not a whole lot of fanfare about how they don't sign you, or the trash ass pizza they showed.
Well, Cam Newton has offered him a job through this. First of all, this opened my world, because I saw this and I was like,
Blinking guy meme has returned for the first time in whatever. What is what?
Oh, I'm going to show you the video. So Cam, of course, has his own podcast and his own YouTube channel.
He's going to be the guy who lint rolls Cam's hats.
So, yeah, listen to what Cam said yesterday, and they posted this. This is Cam's reaction after watching the video. Watch this.
Peggy.
What's up?
Whoever that guy is.
This is Drew Chrisman. Drew Chrisman, free agent punter.
I want him to work with Iconic Saga.
I don't know what. I think that's his company. I can't understand what he's saying.
I think that's his rap trio.
What do you even say?
Iconic Saga.
Okay.
Which I think is like the new Mortal Kombat game. Mortal Kombat, Iconic Saga. Get over here.
Oh, film production company in Atlanta, Georgia. Iconic Saga. Okay, let's see what else Cam has to say. Dude, it's pretty funny. I mean, just because between him, his reaction, his hat, this whole setup.
Can I make one observation? If this is the background of your podcast, you standing in line, standing up in front of a microphone, in front of like a Michael's Craft store football field with some cutout pop art of you on it, I don't think Iconic Saga is making the next Godfather.
Well, here's what's funny. I just went to their website. The first person that shows up is Cat Williams, but it looks like it's an old video from like, bro, this website's on. We'll get to the website. We'll have to get to the website in a minute, but let's hear what else Cam has to say.
Drew, listen to me. I want you to come work with us at Iconic Saga. That motherfucker just told a story in a minute and 30 seconds, probably a minute.
Took some people where they never been before.
Off his phone.
they're acting. And again, I like Drew and I like him as a person. But I mean, they're acting like, I mean, you made the Coppola joke. They're acting like he just put out.
Yeah.
He goes with his phone.
Took some people where they never been before.
Yeah.
I love creativity like that. So, what's his name?
Drew Chrisman.
Drew Chris. You ain't got to punt no more. You ain't got to do none of that shit. I mean this
Punt no more? I thought he said putt.
from the bottom of my heart. Find some type of way to get to Atlanta. I'll get you to Atlanta. Come try out for Iconic Soccer.
Yeah.
And I'm as honest as I know how. Like, I'm a creative person. I love that shit, dog. Look.
What is on Cam's lapel?
Bro, I don't know what is happening here. Why
Why does Cam have a 1970s janitor's keychain clipped to his clipped to his lapel? Look at his setup.
I mean,
It's literally. I feel like this happens to Cam a lot, where he sees some like real basic ass shit and he like loses his mind. Yo, what's your name? Eli? Eli, I'm gonna need you come be set director of my podcast. And Eli's a 13-year-old at his own bar mitzvah. And he's like, what? I just like what you did here. This whole football theme. How'd you come up with this? He's like, I just told my mom I like football. And that's what I wanted the theme of my bar mitzvah to be. I need that. I need this. I need these fake chains.
I was about to say, Joe, he's got the yard marker. He's got the chains on this. This is the dude. You have money. This is the set you guys came up with.
Now, and what you're doing over here, those are fake license plates that we make with whatever you want on it, and then you could take it home. But you see the state says Eli's bar mitzvah. I like that. How you come up with that?
Where is he from?
We can get all this.
Fuck that. If anybody sees this message,
hit up Drew. Tag
Drew, DM Drew, have Drew DM me or Iconic Saga or OG Collins. 4th and 1. It don't matter, bro. No. I like that type of creativity.
Hit us up, Drew.
That storytelling right there is immaculate.
That was immaculate storytelling.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. Oh, I love that shit. Yeah. Looking forward to hearing from that motherfucker right there.
I mean, Prano, what are we doing? What are we doing here? It's you know what's crazy about Cam? He's one of those guys. We talk about needing a guy. He needs a guy to just say, "What are you wearing today, man?"
Yeah, and it can't be the guy who he's talking to, because that guy is like in. He's like, "You're right. That's amazing."
I mean, I just can't. Here's my thing. I can't take you seriously with this set and this outfit. And that, it's like, dude, you were an MVP, so you're gonna have some insight.
Morning meetings. Everybody ready? Got a little creative inspiration today. Have y'all ever watched anything called the Dirty Sports Podcast? It's pretty amazing. Anyway, the little guy, Andy something, I don't know. Listen to this. Whenever he loses something, he wears an L chain. Now, you got to look at how this dude did this. I don't know. Did he buy it at a store? Or did he fabricate it? But it's like a yellow L. I want something like that on our wall, but with 4th, like it's 4th down. Like you want it to look like a scoreboard or something? It's like, nah. I want it to look like y'all cut it out of styrofoam and then just tacked it to the wall. I want it to look like it's the L that Andy Ruther wears. That guy's a storyteller. When I saw that, I knew that dude took an L. You know what I mean? Because he was wearing it. He was wearing his L.
It's so hilarious that he went with that background when he can see I don't know, Shannon Sharp or some of these other guys that are contemporaries, and just look at their setup. It's you know, the podcast setup really isn't that much different from show to show
Yeah.
in 2024, just because of technology and everything we have.
I mean, the black podcasters, the just the absolute range. Shannon, what do you want? He's like, y'all know Bruce Wayne's den? I'm gonna need that fireplace. And then they're like, Cam, what do you want? He's like, 8-year-old's bedroom who's a sports obsessed. I'm gonna need that.
Oh, they have this iconic saga. They have a members only perks feed videos. Interesting. It's I don't know, man.
I can't wait for the sit down. It's gonna be like a director's commentary. Tell me, Drew, how'd you get that angle inside your house before you got home? Was your camera crew just laying on the floor waiting for you to arrive? I actually just went in my house and put my phone down, and then I went back outside and opened the door. That's amazing.
You know
How'd
what's
you
funny?
think of that? So your daughter, she was just like acting like you was home. Iconic.
You want to know what's funny too? Even funnier. Drew posted a video about like if he didn't edit his videos. So like they didn't even look. Cam didn't even look at that. So he posted a video a few days ago of all the basically how he just films and all the shots and how he edits it into 60 to 90 seconds just to show like this is how it actually looks, which is hilarious because like Cam it's not that hard. Like I said, he literally just films. I should have asked him. I said when he was at Gold Star for this, I said, so how are you going to edit this? Because I was there the whole time with him. I said, so he goes, basically, it's simple, man. I set up a camera here. I've learned the angles. I wear a body cam. He goes, I do it on like CapCut by myself. Like, basically, I don't think Cam realizes he could do this stuff.
Yeah.
But
I also can't wait for 6 hours after Drew's there. And then Drew posts the video of a room full of Atlanta black guys doing arts and crafts. And then Drew's agent was like, quick note from the Cam Newton legal department. They said take down all pictures of and video that show black guys doing arts and crafts.
I mean, dude, I got an 18-month-old, and she does that.
And another one on the way.
I do.
Do you?
Maybe. Yeah, I do have another one on the way.
I told you. How long is your
Well, here's the thing. I announced it. I shouldn't say Brittany joined the Andy Ruther show this week.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We saw Brittany on the Andy Ruther show?
Yeah. She came for the announcement.
Listen, what is going on here?
What do you mean?
So on the Dirty Sports, let me just get this straight. On your original podcast, the Dirty Sports Podcast, which you're currently on, and it's your bread and butter, you are just lying to my face about not being pregnant, and then you're taking your exclusives over to the Andy Ruther show, and you're showing your baby mama, who you've never shown to anybody before. She's coming on and dropping baby reveals?
Well, this was planned a long time in the making. There are a few factors. She, and I understand as a woman, we did not tell anybody until she hit the second trimester because of the percentage of miscarriage is very high. So, and I say this on the show. So
how long ago did I call this now?
We've known since May 30th. I mean, she's basically halfway there. So like she's pregnant. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she's pregnant. So we've known since May 30th.
You're the world's worst liar. I said it a few times and you were like, what are you talking about?
I'm a terrible liar. And that's not just to you. I've lied to everybody. Anybody who's asked. Everybody was out of the loop. So I told her, I said, I convinced her, even though she kind of begrudgingly came on. She came on for about 13 minutes. And we actually did a gender reveal.
Oh, you know what you're having already?
We know. So she knew for a month. I didn't want to know. And I said, why don't you do a gender reveal to me on my podcast? And she begrudgingly did it. And it's all up, and it's on YouTube. I actually posted the gender reveal on TikTok this morning. I'm going to post that on Instagram, but we did a Cincinnati chili gender reveal.
No.
Yeah.
So what you put out Gold Star and
so you basically, and people have done these here, and because it was just a simple one to easy to film. No, I didn't have Drew's expertise here, but my neighbor helped me out. This is what he does. So you bite into a cheese coney.
Who's this man? Look at this man with his chili reveal. We need to get this guy working on the show. How'd he come up with this?
You've been here. They put so much damn cheese in those conies. You can't even see the dog. So that's the reveal. You bite in. If there's no dog, it's a girl. If you bite in, because there's too much chili and cheese. You know, they're tiny little dogs at the end of the day in a bun. So I literally just found out the gender. We filmed last Thursday. I just found out the gender.
And it is?
Another girl, of course.
Another girl. Walt from above, just shaking his head.
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing. I didn't really, my reaction's pretty funny because I'm like, I don't care either way. But the more I've watched it, I was a little bummed. A little maybe. But I'm really happy for her to have a sister they'll be like spot on almost 2 years apart. So, yeah. Well, we're all like pumping out girls. Like Walt hoarded that male DNA for 5 boys because if you look at his sons, it's like the percentage is way higher with girls. Yeah, so she's due. I mean, it's not like probably like the first week, end of January, first week of February. Numero dos.
I knew it. I sensed it.
You know, it's funny. My neighbor said the same thing. She goes, I just sensed it on you. I said, how?
I feel like the first time I jokingly brought it up was probably the first day you left it in. Like I was just like, I just watched a podcast where Laird Hamilton was on and they asked him about sharks. And he's like, yeah, he's like, you wouldn't think I've seen as few as I have for how long I've been in the water. He's like, but the amount of times I just sensed it and got out, and then somebody be like, you see that? There's a crazy tiger shark out there. And he's like, I didn't see it, but I sensed it.
That is interesting though, because I didn't ever bring it up before that.
No.
I mean, we had talked about we were probably gonna try, but yeah, I know it's look the way I've lived my life. Are you surprised that
girl dad?
Yeah, I mean, is that surprising?
I was talking. I won't name names, but I was talking to a friend of ours last night about you, and she doesn't know you that well, but she knows enough. And I was talking about, I was like, I actually said this last night. I was like, I think Ruther's having another kid. And I was like, I think I said something came up along the lines of like I think I said something like, I'm shocked that it didn't happen. And she was like, I feel like Andy didn't get like laid that much. I was like, oh no, he did. I was like, actually, Andy got laid a lot. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. I mean, he didn't really have standards. I was like, there's one time where I think he may have sex with a homeless girl.
Fact. Fact.
I was like, there's stories of like Mexican grandmas and homeless girls.
Oh yeah.
And like whatever. I was like, so he did okay.
Yeah. There was definitely
But he didn't have a discerning palate.
No, there was a wide range of ladies. There was no, you know me. I did not discriminate on age, race, size. I mean, I was kind of all over the map.
It was your sexual habits and your eating habits were basically the same. You're like, all right, box from Del Taco, 12 bean and cheese burritos. All right, I'm down.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is the equivalent, essentially, of a Mexican grandma.
I know, man. Well, the good news for me is that
your sexual habits were more like Vince's eating habits. You're like, what is this? Pizza on the street? I mean, kind of looks delicious.
Yeah, the homeless girl could have been that.
Yeah.
I mean, the homeless girl straight up.
You literally pizza ratted a human being.
I mean,
on the street and then dragged a slice of pizza up the subway stairs.
You want to hear the funniest part about the homeless chick? The best part is that I think both Filipowski and I were both trying to hook up with her. Like
Filipowski is also.
Yeah, like we were competing over a homeless chick that we met walking back from townhouse to my apartment.
Filipowski, unbelievable because married. It's like, you gonna cheat on your wife with this homeless chick? He's like,
what was it? I don't. Yeah, I guess he would have been married.
Yeah.
Who knows?
He's like, God. No. I'm gonna cheat on my wife with this unhoused chick. Let's go.
God, man. Yeah. So, well, girl number 2. Now we're in the name stage again, so that'll be fun.
Oh boy. Now, are you gonna do some like Kardashian shit where are you gonna, it's gotta start with an I or some shit like that?
No, not at all. I do think girls are a lot harder to name than boys. And nowadays everybody wants a name that's unique, or it's different names than when you and I grew up. Let me put it that way.
Oh, I mean, cut to like early Dirty Sports Andy Ruther's take. I would love to get early. Fuck is it Isla? Name your kid fucking Sally. The fuck is this?
Yeah, I probably would have said that.
Why can't you just name your daughter fucking Peg like everybody else? Like, all right.
Yeah. Brittany came on the show.
So we also did a baby mama reveal.
Yeah. Like I said, she didn't, I don't think she wanted to. And it's caused a little strife.
Why? What happened?
She just doesn't, she thinks, she keeps saying I forced her. And I was like, well, nobody forced you. I just said it'd be fun if you did.
Hey, Brittany, if you're watching or listening to this, Andy Ruther forced me to do this in 2014. Look, it's fucking 6 a.m. in Vegas. Fuck.
Yeah.
Back of the line, sister. You got some gripes? Take a fucking number.
And yeah, it was 13 minutes. 13 minutes. But I'm happy she did. It's it was fun, and of course doing a Cincinnati chili gender reveal was the most Cincinnati thing we could do.
Now, does that get you like? Did you spin that into a Gold Star bonus?
No.
No. God damn, man, what are you doing? Marketing.
I don't even think I told them. I haven't even told them. I mean, I'm sure they'll like. I don't even know if I'm tagging them. That's really not the focal point of the video or the conversation either. So I don't know. Next time I'm gonna bring Drew Chrisman in here.
Yeah.
Get that out to Cam.
He would have told that story.
Oh yeah.
He'd been like, just like you guys did, but put your camera on the floor. And Cam Newton would have been like, holy shit, man. How's it get the angles?
I'm out on Hard Knocks right now.
You're out.
I gave it 3 episodes. We've been watching it as a couple, and we both agreed after the 3rd one. We just go, it's just nothing interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've only watched 2. I think it's as simple as we're over it. Like, it better be compelling beyond a look inside training camp, because we're on year what of that? 15?
More than that.
Yeah.
And obviously the Caleb Williams storyline is a big one, but that has to play out during the regular season.
Yeah.
But I just there's nothing compelling, at least from my opinion. I don't know. I mean, look, again, the Caleb Williams thing is interesting. The fact that they're the only team that's never had a 4,000-yard passer in a season.
That's crazy.
It is crazy if you think about it. The only team. So it's just going to have to play out during the regular season. But I don't find it too interesting right now. Oh, we got a call, by the way. Speaking of football preseason, and then also me claiming she wasn't pregnant. This is for you, actually, I think.
This is Tyler from Minnesota calling. Joe, I have reason to believe you've been lied to. I can't confirm when, but I believe you were lied to. You asked Mr. Ruther a question, and he denied, and I believe you were lied to. Start anything, but I know Joe doesn't like liars, so and I would rather attend a WNBA game. The only reason to attend a preseason game, there isn't one actually. You can give those tickets away to other family members with small children, but that's it. Andy, I'm moving soon, so if you don't send a Harambe picture soon, we're going to have to discuss an address update, but I know you'll get to it eventually, but stay dirty. Hopefully I didn't cause any riff-raff. Stay dirty.
Yeah, I've DM'd. I own a Harambe picture. Again, yeah,
Since
that's
when?
What?
Since when?
Oh, like a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
I keep saying I'm gonna send it. That's on me. But yeah, that Tyler, that was the deal. I couldn't reveal per the woman.
I think I recall even saying to you on an episode, "Are you just lying to my face right now?" And you're like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about."
Oh, I did the same thing. I did the same
Full
thing.
Aaron Rodgers. You're like, "I've been inoculated." I was like, "But are you pregnant?" You're like, "Inoculated," and then you knock over the mic and run away like Dave Chappelle. I was like,
"Well,
did this podcast just end? Why did I suggest that Andy might be pregnant again?" And they said he was inoculated, and now I'm just alone on Zoom.
The only person I actually told was my sister-in-law, because I just couldn't get out, because I met her at the park one day, and she's like, "Where's Brittany?" And I said, "She doesn't feel well." And she's like, "Sick," or like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." Because the truth is, the first like few months for her, both pregnancies just like are not easy. They like kick her ass, and she's always not feeling well.
I just
tired.
imagine your family gets exactly what the Dirty Sports gets. And she's like, "Where's Brittany?" And you're like, "She's sick." I'm like, for the last 3 years, we're just never gonna meet this person. You show us your daughter, but you've never showed us your baby mama. We hear all these stories of you watching Hard Knocks with her, but we never seen her. Now, I mean, the audacity that now I have to go watch the Andy Ruther show. Can we show clips of the Andy Ruther show on our show so I don't have to watch the Andy Ruther
I mean, you don't have to watch. Like it's again, it's only 13 minutes.
My knowledge of Brittany prior to this is her small profile picture on YouTube TV when we visited last January, and the fact that your house was full of that you had 14 Christmas trees in your house. That's the only evidence that you have a woman in your life.
Well, maybe it's
I don't know where you got that baby.
Maybe it's still all a ruse.
Yeah.
Let's say one thing. That baby.
I can spot a liar. So if I watch, I've proven that on the show. So if I look at this so-called Brittany on the other thing, I'll be able to know if this is some Central Casting Cincinnati chick.
Well, the baby definitely doesn't. The baby looks just like me. Isla does. So that probably doesn't help my cause. Does Mikey have? I forget. Does Mikey have 2 boys?
No, boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl. Okay. How old's his girl?
I think 2 years younger than Deuce. So like,
Okay.
I think 9. I think they're
Gotcha.
I think they're 9 and 11. Never forget.
How's he as a girl dad?
Yeah, same as he is as a boy. He doesn't,
I figured.
just whatever. She plays boys lacrosse and 14 sports.
Can we? Well, we actually have. I have a lot of stuff on here today. As much as I want to get through some NFL stuff, I want to bring up, since you're our baseball guy, Joey Votto retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Where we at Hall of Fame wise?
I saw a headline the other day. I didn't read the whole article, but like it suggested something along the lines of like Joey Votto is your baseball fan litmus test. And it was basically saying like, again, I didn't read the story. I saw it in passing, but I think it was suggesting if you're a real baseball fan, you feel one way about Joey Votto's Hall of Fame career. And then if you're not a baseball fan, you're a casual, you feel some other way. It's hard for me to say. I mean, he's got the MVP. There's not, you would be different as a Cincinnati guy.
That's what I'm asking. I want to take.
But you're also not you're not like a super duper fan. Like, are there a lot of standout Joey Votto moments in your life? Do you have these like, oh, that time he did this, that time he did that?
No, it was just consistency.
Yeah.
Well, I want to pull up, and I have it here. I think the litmus test, you'll probably agree with me. Larry Walker, also Canadian. I believe the first and only Canadian in the Hall of Fame. So let's look at them head to head. Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, so let me pull it up a little better. All right, so Walker is better than him in WAR. Votto has more games, more plate appearances. I don't really care about that. Hits.
Well, you should care about it because he has just that and nothing else. So, like, he played 50 more games or 75 more games, and he's got, less everything. Now, he didn't play in Coors factor.
Yeah, so I mean, they're he played some more games. They're very similar. Look, they're within about 30 of hits, home runs, RBIs. Walker has about 200 more. Batting average, Walker wins. Votto slightly beats him in on base percentage. But the point is, their numbers are very similar.
Yeah.
5 All-Stars to 6 All-Stars, 1 MVP. Now, Walker gets him in 7 Gold Gloves, like crushes him.
Yeah, and probably why his WAR is,
8 points higher.
Yeah. I'm assuming most of that's coming on the defensive end since their offensive
is.
numbers are pretty similar.
Yeah, it is. I looked at it. It's all the defensive end. So I think this is a good analysis, right? If you compare the two.
And Larry Walker was kind of borderline, right?
I think.
Yeah.
Now it's interesting though, because a lot of guys will stand for a lot of the new age analytics guys will stand for Votto. He led this stat. He led on base percentage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He led it 7 times in baseball in his career. So I mean, I don't know what to make of the on base percentage stat. He led the league in walks 5 times, which obviously contributed to that stat. He finished top 3 MVP 2 other times. So I don't know.
I'm going to say, to me, the answer is I'm a big baseball fan, but I'm certainly not like a psychotic statistical baseball fan. And I'm very much a Mets fan. And to me, it's like Joey Votto is a good player, always a guy that you appreciate. When the Reds came to town or when we went to Cincinnati, you were like, oh, Votto, best player on the field, for a lot of those meetings in his prime for, my team against the Reds. But it never felt like I was watching a guy who was a lock Hall of Famer one day. Like,
oh yeah, definitely not a lock.
You watch baseball, there are guys even like legitimately early on in their career whose maybe numbers aren't like significantly better, but like all the things. It's like you're like 6 years into Pudge Rodriguez, and you're like, that guy's going to the Hall of Fame as a catcher. You're watching like Roberto Alomar as a kid. You're like, that guy's a Hall of Fame second baseman. Like Votto's like good player. To me, maybe not a Hall of Famer. Probably also a Hall of Famer, like if he played 20 years ago or 40 years ago or something like that. But like, I'll tell you straight up, and I didn't really have this thought on it until right now. But if Keith Hernandez isn't in the Hall of Fame as a Mets fan, same position, one-time MVP, significantly better defensive player, World Series, captain of a World Series team, I don't think Votto is. It'd be interesting to see their side by side too.
I think he's going to get in because of. I think these guys have such hard-ons for the on-base percentage. I'm just Googling now and seeing what people are saying. About like they instantly go to like. He led the on-base percentage 7 times. Only players to do it more: Ted Williams, Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth, and Roger Hornsby. It's like people are going to instantly go to that. I don't know.
I mean, on-base percentage is important, but again, does it like? It just feels like a player should be across these sports a standout where it's like you can't. You can't doubt it.
Why don't I pull up him versus Keith?
I mean, I got it. Yeah.
I mean, they're very similar,
Very
Except-
similar.
except Votto has way more home runs. Although Votto definitely beats him in most of the categories.
Yeah.
Once you start doing on base percentage, slugging, OPS plus, Gold Gloves, he gets crushed. Keith
Yeah.
is
Keith
11.
Hernandez, in an era, it feels like where Keith Hernandez, again, you think about like, I would almost say pretty similar. I felt the same way about them, like as I watched them play. Like obviously Votto's offensive numbers are higher in a higher offensive era. It's like you kind of felt like you weren't like, oh, Keith Hernandez, oh my God, he's like.
Yeah. Well, Cincinnati people were obviously very biased.
Yeah.
I think he'll, like I said, I think he'll get in because we know how the writers are, and
he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He was a fun interview. He was kind of quirky. He's Canadian. You know how those guys are. Like, so they have a hard on for that. So they'll vote him in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like anti him getting in by any means.
No, and I don't. That's why I asked the question. I don't know if he legit. I think he's for sure borderline. Like, I don't know if he's legit a Hall of Famer, but this is why I think they'll vote him in at the end of the day. And the truth is, I feel sad for him that he had to spend 17 years in Cincinnati. I do. 17 years with an organization that just does nothing. It's the meme with like the sticks moving. Like, come on, do something.
Yeah.
That's what the Reds organization is. So in a way, I do feel sorry for him, even though he was a great player for Cincinnati and he cared about the city and everybody loved him and he loved the city. I feel sorry for him that he never, outside of the 2012 team.
Does Joey Votto knowingly live like in Cincinnati still, or did he like hightail to wherever the fuck?
I don't even think he ever lived here. He never lived here full time anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. He never lived here full time. But my point is he embraced the city. He was always very grateful. But at the end of the day, man, you had like a couple teams that maybe had a chance to do something in your 17 years. To me, that's where the real travesty is. He never won a playoff series. He was never on a team that won a playoff series. He never really sniffed team success. And that's what's disappointing. I always wonder about that for an athlete. The spin is always positive. Of course, the spin here is always, oh, he did all 17 years with the Reds. I'm like, okay, that's the spin. I'm going to say the opposite. It's a shame he didn't get to join a contender.
Yeah.
At any point. He was ejected his final game in Major League Baseball. That's a
love
fun
that
fact.
for him.
Yeah. Which I did see some interesting posts about that, being like, we have a Hall of Famer, borderline Hall of Famer, ejected his final game on the Reds, which once again, the umps have to steal the show.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. It's just, again, I think it sucks that he didn't get to really compete at the highest level in the playoffs. But what you can do?
I got an ID. What's his name? Punta guy? He straps whatever contraption he's using to capture this film he has to his chest, and he goes to Cooperstown for Joey Votto's Hall of Fame. Now that's the story I'd like to see. I can see it on the marquee. Vato, 1 of 1. We making this film. Directed by Punter Boy. Produced by Cam Newton and the Iconic Saga gang. An Iconic Saga joint. Vato, 1 of 1.
I would love to be a part of those brainstorming meetings at Cam's production company. You know he's got to bring in there Pete Carroll. You see this? Pete Carroll is going back to USC as a teacher.
What?
What class is that going to be? Yeah.
The real story of 9/11.
I knew. I was like, Prino's going to definitely give me a 9/11 joke here. Pete Carroll said earlier this week that part of his life after being coach, the Seahawks will include teaching class at USC this spring. But they're not saying what he's going to teach. I mean, I love the vague, just the generic responses. This is from the university. We are excited to welcome Pete Carroll home to USC in a new capacity in which he can, as a legendary coach and leader, share his knowledge and experience with our students.
By the way, for Pete Carroll, I'm already thinking of him as, with the gum and the coaching history, I just see him as the basketball coach from Teen Wolf at USC. He's just in front of a fucking room of psychology 101 students. He's like, let me tell you, I got 3 rules.
But you hired him, but you don't know what he's teaching? We are working on the details and hope to share more specifics later.
Never dated a woman with the tattoo of a nice knife on her?
I mean,
never played cards with a man named after a city? What's the third one?
I forget. He does give Teen Wolf coach vibes.
Everything else after that? Cream cheese. All right, Scotty, get out of here.
Wasn't he eating a bucket of KFC too?
Teen Wolf coach scene. Can we pull that up?
I'm going to pull it up.
Teen Wolf coach advice.
I'll pull it up. Yeah.
Oh, they're in
the shower?
Oh yeah, never get less than 12 hours of sleep.
They're in the shower?
Yeah.
This is amazing. All right, let me get through this ad.
So Pete Carroll vibes, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Look at him. He's even got the hair and the polo shirt. This is heavy Pete Carroll vibes. This is Pete teaching at USC.
I get it, Coach. What's that from? Let me give you a little advice. There's 3 rules that I live by. Never get less than 12 hours sleep. Never play cards with a guy who's got the same first name as a city. And never go near a lady who's got a tattoo of a dagger on her body. Now, you stick with that. Everything else is cream cheese. Great game there, Scotty.
9/11 was a hoax.
Look how skinny Michael J. Fox is.
Yeah.
Dude, he's like 5'3", 130 pounds, and he was the basketball player.
Yeah.
Dude, his chest. He's got the body of a 9-year-old boy. Does he have any body hair?
No. It's another Canadian.
Bobby Finstock.
Yeah.
That was the coach's name?
Yeah.
Wasn't he eating KFC in another scene, though?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Pete Carroll.
We have a lot of Teen Wolf references on this show. In fact, I bet you if we did movie references on Dirty Sports History, Top Gun's #1. I think Teen Wolf's definitely top 5. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's got to be up there.
So is he going to teach a psychology class? What's he teaching?
Yeah. I'm just saying, look into it.
Well, now that we're kind of mixing all these worlds together, pop culture and football, we haven't discussed how Nick Cage is going to play John Madden.
Amazing. I love this. And then there was a picture going around. Was the picture real?
I didn't see the picture.
Oh my God. I don't know if it was real or if that was like a meme or AI or something like that.
So Nick Cage is set to play John Madden in a drama for Amazon's MGM Studios. It will be directed by David O. Russell, who made Silver Linings Playbook. I believe he also did The Fighter. So this is actually, I think, more about the story of how
I'm going to steal a turducken. Let's ride.
It says, I think it's going to be more about how the whole thing happened with the video game.
Interesting.
Madden, it's going to be called Madden, is in part, according to sources, a video game movie. It's the origin of the Madden NFL, one of the biggest video game franchises of all time. So we'll see.
Boom.
What's this Nick Cage? What's the? I gotta find this. What were you talking about? The Nick Cage Madden thing.
There's a picture that was like of Nick Cage like being all fat, walking around. It was like,
yeah, I'm not seeing it, but maybe it's somewhere. I mean, who else? Like, I don't know. I don't know who plays John Madden.
yeah.
Like, who else would you get? Who else are you getting?
Let's see. I'm just trying to think like big guys. The dude from Modern Family.
Eric
Stone Street.
Stone Street, yeah.
Or who else was I thinking?
Chaz Bono.
What's the dude he's
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this that you just sent me? Oh my God, I gotta pull this up on the screen.
That can't be real, right?
This has gotta be AI. Dude, AI is wild. That's the funniest shit I've seen.
AI is wild. So 2 days ago or yesterday, I posted on AI this clip of they AI'd Kurt Cobain saying that like Pearl Jam was the best like Seattle grunge band, and it even said on the top like AI. And I took some like graphics and put it over on my Instagram story. I covered the AI part. I was like, oh, hard agree. And my girlfriend's like, you know that's AI, right? I was like, I know. That's why I covered the part that says AI. I was like, I'm just trying to trigger some fucking Gen X like Kurt Cobain. She's like, you're embarrassing yourself. It's like people don't. I was like, God damn. You triggered about Kurt Cobain. I was like, I didn't think I was going to trigger you, millennial chick. I thought I was going to trigger some like 40-something dudes who were just real serious about the Pearl Jam Nirvana beef. She was like really mad. She's like, take it down. I was like, relax.
Are there those people? I mean, you know me, I'm a Nirvana guy, but I would never care. I'm a Kurt Cobain
Oh yeah,
guy.
yeah. People care. And then she's like, "You seem like a boomer who doesn't know what AI is." I was like, "It says AI." I was like, I went out of my way to like cover it, like so. I'm like doing a joke.
Imagine if you showed that to Cam Newton.
Yeah, he'd been like, "God damn, Kurt Cobain's still doing interviews? How did they do this?" That picture of Madden is Nick Cage's Madden though. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Oh my God. What is this? Sega Genesis? This is wild. What's your first version of Madden? Do you remember? Like, how early on did you have Madden, and what console? Did you guys have a console as like a family?
Yeah, well, Nintendo. Then we had Sega. Well, the bigger question is, when do I first? The first time I played it was at a buddy's. When did Madden come out? Let's see how close. I'm gonna guess 94.
Probably pretty close to that, because that's the whole EA, NHLPA. I'm gonna go 92.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna go a little earlier because I feel like maybe the first couple versions.
Dude, 88.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember playing it till like the 90s.
Yeah.
At
I mean, the EA Sports, Madden was the first one, but then soon after it was Live 95, NHLPA 94. The EA Sports, it's in the game.
I wonder how much money has been made. Like for his family and him. I know you got a flight. Let's get to some calls.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. 310-359-8365. That's a hotline. Somebody called in defense of college football, so let's talk about it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey guys, I'm calling in to offer in a tepid defense of college football, since you guys love to shit on it so much. And I think the reason that you guys don't like it is because neither of you went to a school that has a college football team. So I'm an alum of Florida and Georgia. So I'm obviously going to be a lot more invested in it than you guys, who have really no connection to the sport. Additionally, reasons that I really like college football, like potentially things that it does better than the NFL. I mean, the atmosphere, it's not really a comparison. Like the Swamp with 90,000 people chomping in it, it's not really a comparison to like, say, a Bucks game where, the stadium is like, I don't know, it doesn't fill up till the second quarter. There's like so much more history. So like specifically with Florida and Georgia, the game is played at a neutral site because 100 years ago when the series started, students would just go to the other campuses and literally destroy the campuses. So like Florida students would go up to Athens, absolutely destroy all the buildings. Same thing with Georgia students to Gainesville. So they'd move it to a third-party site. Like there's just nothing in the NFL that has that history and the historical, richness and those types of traditions like the ones that exist in college football. And I've never been to an NFL tailgate that even compares to some of the tailgates I've been to in college football, like at LSU, at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party in Jacksonville, Florida tailgates, Georgia tailgates, Auburn tailgates. There's nothing in the NFL I've been to that even really compares. So I think that's why people like it. I know you guys don't. You guys don't have any connection to the sport, which is fine, but kind of a tepid defense of why some people like college football. Anyways, Con is off for FSU. Go Gators.
Do you want to start or me?
Well, I mean, we've always said that. We've always said that there's, the college football atmosphere is so much better, and like I guess in a way you agree with us in a sense, because you didn't talk about college football at all.
So yeah, thank you.
The stadium and the atmosphere and the tailgate party and the whatever,
which you and I are both on record. I even said it last episode. Guys, I'll still go to games. Like
Yeah.
We already said that. The people watching, the scene,
the history, the like whatever, like the stadiums, you know, the way the NFL stadiums, like there are so many stadiums in college football that have a history and have an experience. And in the NFL, like what are we really left with at this point? Like Lambeau, Soldier Field, like everything else, they're just like, let's go to the newest, the biggest, the best. Like those things don't have souls. We all know that. There's way more soul to college football
for sure.
in the atmosphere. But then, you know, the soul of the actual game that's being played, there couldn't be less soul to the game being played. There's actually more soul to the NFL because, you know, you have the history of these franchises as opposed to college football where it's like coaches come and go, players come and go, fucking conferences come and go, like. Dude, the call, and I appreciate the tepid defense of college football, is college is fun. College is more fun than working. Hard agree.
I mean, we've both been to, so I mean, I've been to Big Ten games, I've been to SEC, I've been to Pac-12, I've been to dude, I've been to them all. Ohio State, Michigan, Ole Miss. I mean,
I've been to Auburn, Alabama.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been to Penn State, Wisconsin, and Happy Valley. I went to a national championship game. I've been to the Orange Bowl and seen Miami clinch an Orange Bowl berth.
You and I went to the Rose Bowl to see USC play Penn State. It's like we both have. There's no look. If I go down to a Bengals game, obviously the tailgating isn't going to be the same thing as me going to Ole Miss to see Eli play, and then in the Grove, like it's a whole thing down there, right? There's never been a disagreement there. I think the problem that I personally have, which I said last episode, is that the college game now, with conferences being blown up and the NIL and the transfer portal, my point was, how can you get into that? And you're right. I didn't go to a school that had a football team, but I'll tell you what, man, let's look at a different sport. I was diehard Xavier basketball forever. I'm wearing a shirt now, right? We didn't have an NBA team here. My earliest competitive at a high level basketball was my dad taking me to Xavier games. And we all know how that continued for me till literally just a few years ago. But when all this shit happened, dude, how can I get into a team? Because to me, college basketball and college football are the same thing. If a guy's there 1 year and then he transfers and then NIL and like, it's too erratic for me to get into.
And you know what's interesting is, even as much as we agree that the like vibe around college football is better, now that I'm not 25, and now that I'm not like, let's go do Jello shots until we pass out and then drag me into the fucking Orange Bowl or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually prefer going, like, you know, you watch most of your games at home, but like, to me, I actually, from a traveling to a game standpoint now, I actually find it more interesting to be like, I'm going to go to Seattle, enjoy Seattle, explore Seattle, go to a Seattle restaurant, go to a Seattle bar, and then go to a Mariners game or go to a Seahawks Giants game. I'm going to come to Vegas. I'm going to do Vegas. I'm going to hang out in Vegas. And then I'm going to go to a Raiders Giants game. Like, that's actually in my 40s and, you know, in my 30s, even more interesting than me. I'm going to go explore a city, the restaurant, like going to do what we did in New Orleans. You know, that's more interesting to me at this point than I'm going to go to a bumfuck town full of college kids, drink till I pass out, and then walk across some grass parking lot and go into a football game.
Yeah, it's like I used to visit, one of my best buddies from high school went to Notre Dame. I used to try to get up there every year for a game. And I think I think I went to like 3 games or something. But my point is, going to those Notre Dame, and obviously we all know Notre Dame's history. Nothing has to be said about that. My point is, those memories, and I even watched Notre Dame win on a walk-off field goal against Drew Brees in Purdue when Purdue was really good. But like the memory of that game, I'll be honest, I don't even think about it, is my point. Because Prano's right. You know what I was in all those games? A young college kid, a million beers deep. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really enjoying that experience and valuing it like I would now. Now you drink, I don't drink alcohol anymore, but you're saying it. It's like you don't like, where would be your enjoyment level? You just talk about New Orleans, seeing the Saints in the Dome versus not far away and seeing LSU play in Baton Rouge.
Yeah. And I'm sure it'd be a fun experience for a minute, but
sure.
even me as I grew up a Notre Dame fan and a big Notre Dame fan. Like when I was a kid, and I've talked about this a lot, is how it's flipped. Now it's like, I don't care if Notre Dame wins 0 games if the Giants get a wild card. As a kid, it was like for sure the opposite. Like I cared more about Notre Dame football than I did the Giants as a kid. But even just putting that, I've never been to Notre Dame. I would love to go to a game there. But if you were like Notre Dame, whoever, Notre Dame SC or Giants at Packers at Lambeau, I'd be like, probably Giants at Packers. Because I've also never been to Lambeau, and there's a history there. And I'm not even a fan. Like, it's not like I'm a fan of the play. Like, I want and have always wanted to go to Notre Dame Stadium, but it's just like at this point, the atmosphere is like, to me, I think you hit a certain age and it becomes a wash on atmosphere, because you come a certain age and you're like, well, the atmosphere around the NFL is I'm going to a major metropolis and I'm experiencing that. And it's like the combo of like experiencing a city and experiencing a game in that city, as opposed to in college football where I'm experiencing a school.
For sure. And it's like the last major, like, big name program game I probably saw was Ohio State when my brother was in dental school. And look, it's cool to see whatever, 100,000 fans, but that's a prime example. Here I am, a guy in my late 30s, and I'm going with my brother, and they're all doing the pregame thing at it was like some dental, like a house where guys were studying to be dentists. My point is, it was that party scene. Nerdy.
All right, guys, we're going to walk over to the game now. It's a quick floss for everybody, and we're out of here. Don't let any of those sliders sit in your molars while we're over at the game.
But total dorks for sure. But my point is that
we have one-time use water pick heads, so just use them and toss them, and then we'll hit the road over to the stadium.
As an adult, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to go watch Ohio State play at the Horseshoe. But I don't know. It's not that cool. This would have been cool when I was 22. Yeah. I'm getting blacked out drunk.
Speaking of Ohio State, pass along hello from your boy down here, fellow Ohio guy turned Vegas local, Gooch.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Passing along his hello.
Yeah. I'm glad you see him. I always liked him. He's still doing radio?
He is.
Which station is that?
I don't know. No.
Is he still doing comedy?
I want to say KOP. Is that a station?
K something.
Yeah.
He's still performing?
I love that. And he goes, K something. Yeah, that's how radio works west of the Mississippi. Yeah, still doing comedy. Hosted the show last night.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he was kind of wild.
Seems like he settled down.
I figured.
Ruther style, wife, maybe kids. You know.
Man. Long gone are the days of shitty stand-up comedy at a place called Boomers.
Yeah.
That was one of the venues we used to do comedy at. This back room of.
You'd get up the next day and you'd be like, should we go to a UNLV game? That sounds sick. And now you growed up and you're like, yeah, I'm good on the college football.
Yeah, nah, I'm good. Well, Alex from Kentucky is called again. Dude, at this point, I'm convinced he's just a troll. I mean, listen to this.
Ho, 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 the Tennessee Titans are 2-0 in the preseason. But man, is the future bright under Brian Callahan. We got Will Levis, Calvin Ridley, a 1-2 punch running back, and Tony Pollard, and Tyjae Spears. We also got DeAndre Hopkins. We also got and we got a great defense, especially
Day Junior.
I can't tell. He's
Darius Sneed. Condoms are for pussies. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, and it's Alex from Kentucky.
Thanks for letting us know, Alex. I didn't know it was you.
By the way, have you watched the Steve McNair doc?
No, but I want to watch it.
It's interesting.
I mean, Prano, troll or moron. There's never been a bigger debate ever on our show.
I know. I just feel like he's not smart enough for this all to be like a two presidential term ruse.
Can both things exist?
Troll and moron?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can both things exist is the question.
I guess technically they could, but
well, Alex, I've asked a million times. I mean, just are they going to win more games than Mike Vrabel did in his tenure?
By the way, my gut instinct on that was what a terrible firing. Everybody whose football opinion I value that I've heard talk about the Titans is like, no one knows what they were thinking and what they were doing and what the fuck this decision was to fire Mike Vrabel and to replace him with Bill Callahan and to the people who are super knowledgeable about football that I know think that Will Levis is going to be a disaster and that this team is going to be like terrible. I'm like, maybe they surprise, but I'm like, they're not going to be. Again, the wager on the Vrabel years versus the next 6 years or whatever, like it's a no-brainer for me. But I mean, people whose football intelligence I appreciate think they're going to be even worse than I do.
Yeah, I don't have a really strong opinion. Same on
tough division at this point.
It is a tough division now. I mean, that division was up for grabs to the very end.
Who has worse takes? And also are both elaborate troll jobs. But we might have to take calls on this. Worst takes historically. Alex from Kentucky or Jameis 1 of 1?
Jameis 1 of 1 is interesting because he feels he has to do those takes because he has a financial investment. So like that's why it's I think it's maybe in a way apples to oranges. Like, are those his takes or he's trying to it's like he's trying to push an agenda.
You're even suggesting that he doesn't even really believe it.
Correct. I mean, Joe, I'm just going to pull up. He's posting on Twitter. He reposted on Twitter someone who said, here's a compilation of QB Jameis Winston's work for you today instead with Deshaun Watson being limited. So he's reposting practice highlights from training camp. You know?
Yeah.
it's like
Alex from Kentucky is the new Jameis 101.
I mean, again, like, why would, if he had any decent chance of being a starting quarterback, why didn't a team like the Raiders look at him? Why didn't a team like the Steelers look at him?
Right.
You know what's funny? Jameis himself knows he's a backup.
Yeah. Only Jameis 101 doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he went to New Orleans to back up.
Really, a more fitting name for Jameis 101 is Jameis 1 of 1, 1 of 1. You are now the 1 of 1 person defending Jameis. Jameis defender 1 of 1. Jameis 1 of 1, 1 of 1.
I mean, the rebranding is fascinating, though. As I scroll through Jameis 101, the rebranding that the sports media, especially the mainstream media and social media, kudos to their PR team. They've brilliantly rebranded a guy who's a total dipshit, a clown, multiple sexual assault / rape accusations. They've rebranded failed number 1 pick. They've rebranded it into like, he's the funnest guy. He's the best guy. He's, you know, it's all been rebranded, and people, they fucking eat it up. And so is Jameis 101. I mean, it's like, look at this post that he retweeted. It's Jameis eating his W's with some military dudes. How can you not like Jameis Winston? Without a doubt, the most likable player in the NFL. It's like, that's a prime example.
Yeah. The most likable player in the NFL that no one wants on their team because of his nonsense and the fact that he raped somebody.
The first comment, bro is so down to earth. Don't know why he got so much shit during his time at Florida State. I don't know. Maybe those rape accusations.
Maybe it's all the raping.
One of the best backup QBs in the league.
Listen here, Scotty. I live my life by 3 rules. Don't rape random chicks. Don't sexually assault Uber drivers. Don't yell fucker right in the pussy. You follow those 3 rules, everything else is cream cheese.
Give us a ring, guys. 310-359-8365. Joe's got a flight to catch.
Yes.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it. You could follow me at Joe Prano on all social media except for Twitter. I'm at Fix Your Life. I got some shows coming up. I'll be in the desert this weekend. I'll be up in San Luis Obispo the first weekend in September. All those shows and more, joeprano.com. I'm going to put some pants on.
Oh, ooh, a little junk show. Look at that. Showing his loaf. All right, well, you guys can hear all my Andy Ruther baby stuff on the Andy Ruther Show with special guest Brittany. She is real, confirmed. All right, you guys have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday. And as always, stay dirty.